Hello and welcome to NCTV episode 31, and this one is all about sciatica. So what is sciatica? First of all, it's actually a set of symptoms stemming from another problem causing compression to the sciatic nerve as opposed to being the main issue itself. It can be referred to also as neuritis, lumbar radiculopathy or neuralgia. Those with sciatica may experience pain, numbness, pins and needles and weakness in the lower back, buttocks, legs and feet. Occasionally people may also report a burning pain or spider-like tickle in the leg, and generally speaking it tends to only occur on one side. To give you an idea of why this can be so painful, the sciatic nerve is the longest nerve in the body and the largest, and at its thickest point it's as wide as your thumb is. Its root stems from the spinal cord and it passes through the last couple of vertebrae in your lower back and extends the entire length of your leg into your foot. Here are some of the causes of sciatica. Firstly, the most common one, which is a disc prolapse or a slip disc as some call it, and that's where the disc bulges and touches the sciatic nerve, sending pain down the back of the leg. Next, spondylolisthesis. It's almost as hard to say as it is to spell. This is where the actual vertebrae slips forwards, usually after a fracture, and it pinches the sciatic nerve and narrows the spinal canal. Piriformis syndrome is another cause. So this is where the piriformis muscle deep in the buttock compresses or impinges the sciatic nerve. Another cause, albeit less common, is something called a space-occupying lesion, which means anything occupying the space around the nerve, such as a tumour or cyst, compressing it, leading to sciatica. So now you know what it is, how and why it happens. Here are some of the ways that you can actually help it. It usually gets better within about 4 to 6 weeks, but it can take longer. And in the short term, anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen or aspirin can be helpful. Ice and heat may also provide relief. For more natural ways to reduce inflammation in the longer term, this can be done through nutrition, with a diet rich in whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, fatty fish such as salmon, and also turmeric, ginger, green and black tea. Whilst experiencing sciatica, it's good to reduce your activity levels for a few days, then slowly work your way back up to it, to your usual level, and avoid bending forwards as much as possible. Depending on the severity of it, it may need to be around 12 weeks until you actually continue to resume exercising. And when doing so, pay particular attention to strengthening your abdominal region and increase the flexibility of your spine. I realise this may come across as being biased, but physical therapy such as osteopathy is highly recommended, not only by myself, but across the many health advisory boards in existence, so don't just take my word for it. If physical therapy is unsuccessful, it may be that the nerve is too severely pinched, and the next step may be for an MRI scan to determine the severity of it. Following an MRI scan, a consultant may wish to do an injection or an epidural into the spine to reduce the inflammation on the sciatic nerve roots. A few other top tips to mention, and this is mostly comprised of do's and don'ts, but before those, it can be helpful to put a pillow or cushion between the knees when sleeping on your sides, or under your knees when on your back. This leads nicely into the next step, or the next tip, being to get more restorative sleep. Some people also find mind-body techniques helpful, such as deep breathing, meditation, visualization and cognitive behavioural therapy. Some exercises to do that can be helpful, although not in every case as this depends on the cause, may be knee hugs, back extensions, hamstring stretches and buttock stretches. Starting with the don'ts. If you have sciatica, don't sit for more than 20 minutes without getting up and moving around for a few minutes. I said it before and I'll say it again, don't bend forwards if you can help it. And I realise this isn't easy, but that includes leaning over a sink to wash your face, bending to pick up objects from the floor, reaching across a table, or making the bed. And definitely don't bend and twist at the same time or lift anything heavy. Now on to some of the things that you can do, and that is move. Gentle movement or exercise usually helps. Do go to work. Resuming normal day-to-day activities and a normal routine can help after the acute stage. Do cycle and swim as part of your rehabilitation and under the guidance of your doctor or therapist. And finally, this is neither a do or a don't, more of a be careful when running, that is. It can cause compression through the spine and might make the problem worse. It should be said that there are some instances to be aware of where you may need to go to A&E or call 999 if you're in the UK. And that is if you have sciatica on both sides, have weakness and numbness in both legs that's getting worse, numbness around your genitals or anus, or have a loss of bowel or bladder function. Once over the issue, some things that you can do to prevent it coming back are keeping up with regular exercise, improving your posture when lifting, sitting, standing, or at a computer, losing weight and quitting smoking, if you do smoke. And that concludes this week's bite-sized bit to help your health flourish. Until next time, bye-bye.